Today, we're going to pull back the curtain on a really damaging form of manipulation, gaslighting. We're going to break down exactly what it is, how it works, and most importantly, how you can start to reclaim your own sense of reality.
Just think about that for a second. That nagging feeling of self-doubt, where you start to question your own memories, your feelings, maybe even your own sanity. If that sounds even a little bit familiar, then you're in the right place, because that feeling, well, that's at the very heart of what we're talking about today.
So here's our game plan. First, we'll get a clear definition. Then we'll look at the specific tactics gaslighters use. We'll see where it pops up, understand the psychological toll it takes, and then we'll shift into some really powerful strategies for how to respond and how to heal. Okay, let's jump in.
All right, so let's start with the basics. What exactly is this word we hear so often?
At its core, gaslighting is a calculated way to make you question your own reality. And the name? It actually comes from this old 1944 movie, Gaslight, where a husband tries to convince his wife she's going crazy by doing things like dimming their gas-powered lights and then just flat out denying it's happening. It's all about one thing: control.
And the impact of this isn't some abstract idea. It shows up as these very real, very painful feelings. It's this slow, steady chipping away at your self-trust. Do any of these hit home? The constant second-guessing? Asking yourself if you're too sensitive? Apologizing all the time even when you haven't done anything wrong? That heavy feeling that something is just off, but you can't put your finger on it? That's the emotional footprint of gaslight.
Okay, so let's get specific. Gaslighters tend to rely on a pretty predictable script, and it's important to understand why they do it. A lot of times, this behavior comes from this deep need for control or maybe an inability to face their own flaws. So instead, they create a script to twist your reality. And recognizing that script is the very first step to not getting pulled into their play.
A total classic. This phrase isn't just dismissing your feelings, it's basically saying your reaction is wrong. The whole point is to make you believe your emotions are invalid, so you start looking to them to tell you what the right way to feel is.
With this one, they reframe something hurtful as humor. And it's such a slick move because it completely flips the blame. All of a sudden, the problem isn't their mean comment. It's that you somehow have a broken sense of humor. You're made to feel like you're the unreasonable one for getting hurt.
And here it is. This is a direct assault on your memory, a total denial of reality. When someone you trust looks you in the eye and tells you with complete confidence that something you know happened just didn't, it is incredibly disorienting. It's designed to make you question your own mind.
You know what's so wild? These phrases aren't just random attacks. They fit into these neat little categories. Trivializing makes your feelings seem small, denying just rewrites history, blame shifting turns their actions into your fault, countering makes you doubt your memory, and blocking just shuts down any conversation where they might have to be accountable. This isn't an accident, it's a playbook, and it's all designed to keep you confused and off balance.
And it's so important to realize this doesn't just happen in romantic relationships. These same tactics can show up in a lot of different places in our lives, sometimes in disguise.
Really, this dynamic can pop up in any relationship where there's a power imbalance. At work, from a boss or a coworker, within families, maybe between a parent and a child. And yeah, even in a doctor's office, when you know something is wrong with your body and your concerns are dismissed as being all in your head.
So, especially in a professional setting, knowing the difference here is absolutely crucial. Tough feedback, even when it's hard to hear, is meant to help you grow. It's specific, it focuses on your behavior or your work. Gaslighting, on the other hand, has a totally different goal: to control and undermine you. It's vague, it attacks you as a person, and it leaves you feeling confused and less confident, not motivated to do better.
And that feeling of eroded confidence, that's really just the tip of the iceberg. The long-term effects of this kind of constant manipulation can be incredibly severe.
We're talking about serious, lasting psychological harm. When gaslighting is chronic, it can lead to anxiety, depression, and this deep sense of confusion about who you even are anymore. It causes something called cognitive dissonance. That's the intense mental stress you feel when you're trying to believe two contradictory things at once. And in many cases, it can lead to complex PTSD, which is a type of trauma that comes from being in a prolonged, damaging situation.
This quote from a real person's experience just hits so hard because it perfectly captures that feeling. It's not just about feeling sad, it's this feeling that your brain itself isn't working right. You get this brain fog where even basic thinking feels like a struggle. That's because your brain is just exhausted from constantly trying to sort out what's real and what's not.
So, okay,
Facing this kind of manipulation can feel completely overwhelming. But, and this is important, you are not powerless. Let's talk about how you can start to take back that control.
The journey back really begins with 3 key things. First, you have to name it. See the pattern for what it is, manipulation. Second, create an external record of your reality. Write things down in a private journal. And look, this isn't so you can win an argument with them, it's for you. It's to prove to yourself that you're not imagining things. And third, reach out to trusted friends, family, or a therapist, people who will listen and validate what you're experiencing. Now, when you absolutely have to communicate, there's a fantastic tool called the BIF method. It's designed to shut down conflict. You keep your response brief so there's less for them to argue with. Informative, sticking only to the objective facts. Friendly, just to keep the temperature down. And firm, to set a clear boundary and end it. You're not getting sucked into the debate, you're just stating your piece and walking away.
Stepping away from the conflict is a huge step. But the real goal here isn't just to stop the abuse, it's to heal the damage it's caused. And this part of the journey, this is all about you. It really deserves your time and your patience. Rebuilding trust in yourself. That's a quiet, slow process. It's not a race. Let's just sit with these for a moment. That journal, it's about more than just facts. It's about honoring your own point of view as valid. And this next one, self-compassion, is so critical. You have to ask yourself, how would you talk to a friend who is going through this? You'd be kind, you'd be patient. You deserve that exact same grace. And learning to tune back into your body, that gut feeling, that is your oldest, most honest compass. Your body often knows the truth long before your mind is ready to accept it. Healing is about learning to listen to that voice again.
And please, if you take away one thing, let it be this. Healing is not a straight line. You're gonna have good days, and you're gonna have days where those old doubts creep back in. That's okay, it's totally normal. The goal isn't perfection, it's just progress. It's about getting back to a place where you know deep down in your bones that your worth is not up for debate, that you are the only person who gets to define your reality, and that you are a worthy person who absolutely deserves to be loved. So, I want to leave you with this question to think about. A gaslighter's whole game is to pull you into an endless fight about what's real. It is an exhausting game that you can literally never win. But what if you decide to just drop the rope, to stop needing them to agree with your reality? What does that free you up to do? What parts of your own life do you suddenly get back?